Well, John Cena popped up on the Busted Open podcast / radio show with Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, and Tommy Dreamer. And he was doing the media rounds talking about Fast X, which is getting mixed reviews. I've seen good things, bad things. I've seen, it's a good action-packed, star-studded spectacle. But at the end of the day, it's just, the story is kind of meh, but keeps the franchise going, I suppose, right? John Cena, a big part of that. Now, John Cena, a big part of Hollywood in general. He's made that move. That's something that he had talked about a lot in this interview itself, talking about making that transition to Hollywood, being in the movies, and how that's the same and different from pro wrestling. But it was in this clip here that Dave LaGreca asked John Cena about if he felt like he was passing the torch to Cody Rhodes, that moment where they were both on Raw. And you saw Cena just raising the arm of Cody. Was that a passing of the torch? Check out this clip.
You were at the top of the entrance ramp with Cody Rhodes. And I looked at Cody because you, for a long time, were the face of the franchise. You were the guy in the WWE. I saw that moment with you and Cody as almost like a passing of the torch.
Well, okay, continue, because that's a thought, not a question.
Okay, and I almost could guarantee that Cody was going to beat Roman at WrestleMania 39. Didn't happen. There's still a lot of story to be told. But did you feel for you that was almost like a passing of the torch moment?
Well, I get excited with potential. I really do get excited with potential, and it's because I think in my origin story, I wasn't exactly someone that people were betting on. I kind of got hired defensively, so I wouldn't go to WCW for peanuts. I had some people who saw me perform, who were advocating to people who didn't care about my performance, which granted me some opportunities, and then I was lucky to have some people who supported me, and you don't do it by yourself, which is why I don't think anyone you don't pass it to anybody. You just hope to put energy out there, and anyone with potential can get it. Like it was said that I passed the torch to Roman years ago, and he absolutely is the face of the franchise. I think in my mind, he's the greatest of all time. But I tried to do what I could, and when I did it, it wasn't the miracle. Like it didn't happen. He got it on his own terms. I just like seeing people who are passionate about the business, who want to be there, who want to show up, who aren't using it as a vehicle to do something else, because the thing itself is awesome. And it's okay if you get other opportunities outside. That's a testament to your work. But I wish I was still there every day. I just can't, my body can't do it anymore. And I don't want to give the consumer a bad product. That's another thing that I learned from those veterans. I don't care how I feel physically. I don't care what baggage I have mentally. When I'm on, they paid good money, and I'm going to go out there and give everything I have, and sometimes find it when it's not there. And I'm at a point where everything I have, in comparison to the bar that's been set, boys, like what I have is what you saw at WrestleMania 39. Like that's what I feel confident that I can deliver. And that's really nice for here and there. That's not every day in the WWE. That's not every day in sports entertainment. Sports entertainment has raised the bar. And I'm humble enough to say that's awesome, because you're supposed to leave it better than you found it. And the people are supposed to advance it. And that's why you go from Smoky Bingo Halls to the Pontiac Silverdome to now towns offering us to be financial incentives to be in for WrestleMania.
I think it's a bit of both. I get what John Cena's saying, that yes, it's a passing of energy, right? You're putting that energy out into the universe, and you're hoping that somebody else can grab that and run with it. But I also think that there's a long, rich history in wrestling of passing that torch down to the next guy. The generational passing of the torch. It's every generation or so, a new talent comes along, and they get handed down from the one before them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like Cena said, he tried to do it with Roman, but that was when Roman was still wearing the vest, probably when he had the blue contacts and he was Vince's super babyface heel that always won. LOL, Roman wins, and the fans just hated him, and Vince kept shoving him and shoving him and shoving him down our throats. And it was just never going to work. He needed to be a heel. But he insisted, because he did the same thing with John Cena, and it worked eventually. You know, we all respect John now, or at least I do. I respect the shit out of him. I don't hear many people trashing Cena anymore, you know. He gets the respect. He gets the appreciation. But he was a different kind of character, too. He was a different kind of cat. Roman was definitely being shoved down our throats as a babyface. And ultimately, Vince was right. Because Roman is that guy. He is the next top guy. He's just the next top guy as a heel, not a babyface. That's how it is sometimes, you know. But there's always been that passing of the torch, right? The Nature Boy Buddy Rogers passing it on to Bruno Sammartino. Bruno passing to Bob Backlund, who was really just kind of a transitional champion, which essentially got it to Hogan. So really there was a little bit of muffling in between there, but it was essentially Bruno passing the torch down to Hogan through different channels, you know, inadvertently, because, you know, Backlund was never the guy, even though he was pushed as the guy and he had a long title reign. He still is Bob Backlund, you know what I mean? Hogan tried to pass it to the Warrior. That didn't work. He tried to make that switch over to the Ultimate Warrior. He tried to pass that energy. Unfortunately, Warrior couldn't pick it up and run with it. He had about a year and business kind of failed, and that's why the belt was taken off of him, put on Slaughter to get put back on Hogan. And we're just going to keep rolling with Hogan, and Hogan was kind of getting played out by that time. Took a couple years later, but, you know, eventually that got passed to Brett. And though Hogan never did the job, brother, it didn't work for him to pass, you know, to literally drop the belt to Brett, which is what should have happened. Should have happened at WrestleMania 9. That would have been a beautiful place for that to happen. And then Brett took the title, and Shawn kind of took it from him. Wasn't exactly a passing of a torch there. Those two kind of competed with each other, similar to the way The Rock and Stone Cold did when Michaels passed the torch on to Stone Cold. Rock and Stone Cold were kind of back and forth. Stone Cold didn't pass no torch to The Rock. He didn't take it easily. And then The Rock had passed it on to Cena. Maybe tried to pass it on to Brock, but Brock really wasn't the guy at the time either. Eventually it made its way down to Cena, who's now passed it to Roman. Perhaps. Didn't sound like he didn't really answer the question as far as, you know, if he felt like he was passing the torch to Cody. I don't know if Cody's the guy. Depends how much longer Roman's around. Roman's kind of winding down. He's got that limited schedule. He's not on every TV, not even on every pay-per-view. He's got a limited schedule. I think at some point, especially when he drops that belt, that'll kind of be Kaputski for Roman. He'll have select, maybe have like a couple, you know, WrestleMania dates and that kind of thing, but he's going to start winding it down, and maybe Cody's the guy to take that ball and run with it. But Cody's kind of older too, so it remains to be seen. It's definitely an energy, as we've seen with Hulk trying to give it to Warrior. It's not always going to work. Bruno to Backlund. I don't know if Backlund was supposed to be the chosen one, I guess, because he is a champ for a while, but I don't know if that was really ever, you know, it was before my time. But I don't know that Backlund's really remembered that fondly as being an amazing, awesome, fun champion. You know, we'll talk about a little bit later with superstar Billy Graham. You know, he if he would have turned babyface, he might have been the guy at that time instead of Backlund. But we'll never know. What do you guys think? Do you think that a torch was passed to Cody Rhodes? Do you think Cody is the next guy of the company? Or do you think it's still Roman? Do you think Roman is the guy that got the torch passed to him? Do you believe in the whole passing of the torch gimmick at all? Or do you think it's just whoever the guy is and whatever the time is and that sort of thing? But it seems to me there's a rich history, a tradition of doing so. So Harley Race to Ric Flair, you know, it's wrestling was built on that kind of shit. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next. Oh yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Yeah. And you can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on the channel. Ooh, yeah. Dig it.